All right, folks, so I've mentioned this previously, but if you have not heard it before, please brace yourselves. There is someone on the Fox Propaganda Network who I think unironically is amazing, and that is Jessica Tarlov, who is the liberal/left-leaning correspondent/co-host on programs such as The Five, which they might as well just call 4v1, because she's like Optimus Prime in the second Transformer movies. You know, I'll take you all on, and she's just left, right, and center dunking on Jeanine Pirro and Jesse Waters and Dana Perino and Greg Gutfeld. It's amazing. We could basically make this entire channel about analyzing and discussing all of her excellent performances, and we would have plenty of content. As a matter of fact, I think we're probably going to have multiple videos about her today because there's just so much to unpack. But before we dive into that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. Maybe check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate the support. All right, so what is this particular Jessica Tarlov video about? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. So again, she is the one sane voice on The Five, and despite the fact that she is dealing with a condescending group of conservatives who are weak on the facts but strong, like they have a home turf advantage. Fox News is obviously very hostile to the left in general, and she's outnumbered on that very program, right? So that's a lot of pressure, even for a very competent, well-informed debater, which she is. So this came from the other day. And this is basically, of course it is, as it always is. It's about Hunter Biden. Of course it's about Hunter Biden, because this show, The Five, they knew nothing other than Hunter Biden. In his lap, that's all they care about. The sun rises and sets on Hunter Biden and probably a particular body part in general, but we won't go into that. And anyway, she's just fact-checking them left, right, and center, particularly about the recent testimony of Devin Archer, a Hunter Biden business associate, as well as some other things. So let's dive into it, and we're going to celebrate her together. Get your popcorn ready.
Panel to talk about climate change. Now to Devin Archer. So the testimony, and he wasn't under oath, but he still wasn't allowed to lie to them, was terrible for the Republicans. Jim Comer didn't even show up to think, well, let's use real words then instead of laughing or saying, come on.
So they do that, right? Now, again, this might not seem much to you, but put yourself in her position. Again, look at it. She's outnumbered 4-1. And to even have like a smug laugh like that, that is, I consider myself relatively poised. I've got thick skin, and I imagine in a high-pressure situation like that, if someone did that, it might throw me off too. But they know that. They deliberately do it. You know he can't challenge her on the facts, so he's just trying to throw her off. They do this all the time.
He was asked, if someone concluded from the 1023 form that you all think is so important that Joe Biden was bribed, would you disagree with that? Yeah, I would. Devin Archer said that.
What does he know about that?
Yeah. Well, then he doesn't matter. Then Devin Archer is either the crux of the puzzle that shows that this is a mob family, or he doesn't matter.
No, it matters when he's in the middle of it. If he's in the middle of a dinner, then it matters. If it's something that he's not there, then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So notice what they try to do here, and she's right to call them out, and this is going to be covered in another video because another set of Fox propagandists tried the same stunt with her. So the Republican Party said for weeks leading up to this testimony by Devin Archer that they said this for the gazillionth time, that finally Devin Archer is going to be the one who provides the smoking gun. Okay, they said it before about other pieces of evidence, failed to deliver. Okay, but for real, this time we're going to do it. Notice again, it wasn't an open door testimony. It wasn't televised like every other thing. They hedged their bets. They're like, you know what, let's just not throw cameras on this. So they did a closed door testimony, a closed door interview, and we covered it at length, and we're not going to relitigate it again, except to say this. She's right. Either Devin Archer is the ultimate credible witness who's going to deliver the smoking gun, or he's not. But you can't have it both ways, that his testimony matters and it doesn't matter. Matters in the few sentences that matter to you, then okay, then he's credible, then he's important. And then with all the other evidence or all the other sentences in which he doesn't support your agenda, then he doesn't matter. You can't have it both ways. You can try to have it both ways, but we won't accept it both ways because you're just being shamelessly hypocritical. So then Jeanine Pirro tries. She says, okay, well, listen, you know, if he's in the middle of it, he matters. And if he's not in the middle of it, he doesn't. But here's the thing. Devin Archer served on Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company that Hunter Biden served on, and Mykola Zlochevsky, the CEO of Burisma, who allegedly, according to that FD 1023 FBI form, Zlochevsky was the one who allegedly bribed Hunter and Joe Biden with like $5 to $6 million apiece. So because they all served on the board together, they all had relationships together, Devon Archer is an educated witness on the matter. He would probably have some knowledge. If Burisma, particularly its board member, particularly the CEO, bribed Hunter and Joe Biden, Hunter Biden being another board member, Devon Archer being another board member, and Hunter and Devon Archer being close friends, Devon Archer would probably know about something like that, right? And the fact that he says, not only do I not have any knowledge of it, I would not consider this proof that Joe and Hunter Biden have been bribed by Burisma doesn't make any sense. That actually is evidence against what's alleged in the form. And as we've discussed in previous videos, Mykola Zlochevsky himself, the person who allegedly claimed to bribe Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, we have a verbatim FBI interview with that man 2 years after those initial allegations were made. And he's like, I had no financial relationship with Joe Biden. I have no idea what you're talking about. There's plenty of damning proof as is. But let's continue. Jessica, you are doing amazing so far.
Victor Shokin was not good for Burisma, as I've been telling you, as has been widely reported, as the entire Western world.
Why?
Because he wasn't investigating the corruption.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was seizing their cars.
Well, wait a minute. Then what was he doing? What was Shokin doing?
I'm so glad that you're back. Okay, hold on one second.
Oh, that's not good.
Did Hunter ever ask Joe to take any official actions? Devon Archer, he did not. Pretty clear language.
They
talk on the phone every day.
Oh, also the calls, which there are 20 calls over the course of a decade, he said weren't just the weather. He said.
So that, see what they're doing. When Devon Archer's testimony is inconvenient for them, they say, well, he doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. Even though he was a Ukrainian energy company Burisma board member, even though he was Hunter Biden's close friend, even though he says, listen, I was around Hunter Biden a lot. Hunter and Joe talked every day. And as far as I know, there were about 20 phone calls in which Joe was just on speakerphone over a span of 10 years, 2 phone calls per year. And as far as I know, there was nothing inappropriate done. They never talked about business. It was just pleasantries. It was just chit chat. How's the weather? What's going on? That's what Devon Archer said in the testimony, but they don't like it. They think it's convenient. So they're just like, well, it doesn't matter. It's pathetic.
They did talk about family.
That was
and
a
fishing.
Wink and a nod. Did you see the interview? He goes, yeah, we talked about the weather.
You guys will say.
So again, when he's obligated to tell the truth in an interview to Congress, he's apparently lying. Jesse Waters like, well, it was a wink and a nod. He was when Devon Archer said that he was talking about the weather, what he really meant was the weather. And that, when you say it that way, is apparently code for like corrupt business dealings. That's how pathetic these guys are. They're so desperate, and she's so right to be so frustrated with them. I hope she condescends them. That's what she should be mocking them, not them mocking her. How dare you call us out for this woman here thinks that just because we don't have evidence for our claims and that there's actually evidence to the contrary that we're the silly ones.
Anything.
No, that's what he said.
There's a new oversight memo that's out today, which, again, does not explain what services were provided by the Bidens.
Exactly.
They didn't have any services.
Why is he getting the money?
Then what did they do?
Exactly. We're asking the same question.
No, they never.
See? Guys, folks, this is nuts. This is nuts. So Jessica Tarlov correctly points out that the Republican Party released a memo in which, again, they offer no evidence of any policies or any services. What did Joe Biden give these people for this alleged bribe? They don't say. They don't. And they're saying that's proof. The absence of proof is proof of absence. They're like, see? The fact that we don't know what he gave is proof that he gave something. The Fox Propaganda Network and everyone who endorses this view, they have a tenuous grip with reality. They and reality are not on speaking terms. That's insane. The idea that there's no evidence is actually evidence of evidence. Like the fact that like there should be evidence there, and the fact that there's not evidence not only is proof that evidence is actually somewhere else, we don't know where it is, but it's out there. It's also proof of a cover-up. These people are crazy. Make sure when you're dealing with people who endorse these worldviews, you point this stuff out. And again, I hate to be blunt, they deserve to be mocked.